So the first job I got selling pro audio gear was in 1987, and I was working for a company called Tekcom. And there were two owners there. One was Lou Maresca, and the other one was Richard Feld. And Richard Feld, he specialized in PA sales. And then Lou Maresca, I don't know what he specialized in, but he was the other owner. And it was the first job I got. I was young, and when I that first year, I got paid like peanuts. I got paid. I think it was like $100 or $150 a week as my salary, and then plus commissions. So it was you depended on your commissions to make any kind of money. And the first year, Lou Maresca decided that they were paying too much out in commissions, and the company needed to figure out what was a fair commission rate. And they were going to stop everybody's commissions, and then they would reinstate them and back pay everybody. And there really wasn't that many salesmen. It was just me, another sales guy selling recording gear, and then the PA guy, Greg Elwell. And what happened is that stop in for them to figure out the commission rate took them a year, and and even after a year they didn't know what they were going to do. And when I say they, it was Lou Maresca. So it got to the point I was just getting squeezed and squeezed and squeezed, and I got down to the point I had no money. I wasn't eating any lunch or breakfast, or I was just barely making ends meet. And the one day I went into Lou's office and I sat down with him and I said, um, I said, I can't make it, with the money that's going on. And he said, well, we still got to analyze this and see. And I said, you don't understand, Lou. I'm broke. I mean, really, this job barely makes me any money. And he just kept going on and on about, they had to think about things. And this was like at the end of the day, there was no salespeople, there was no customers in the store. And just as he had a big window that looked out into the showroom floor, and Richard Feld was walking by, and Lou waves to Richard. He said, can you come in here? So Richard opens up the door. He doesn't come in all the way. And he says, hey, Richard, George is, he needs his commissions. What do you think? And he says, does the man sell a good amount? And he said, yep. He says, does he make the company a lot of money? He said, oh, yeah. He says, pay the man. And it was as simple as that. And then he said, okay. And he closed the door and he walked out. And Lou said, okay, starting tomorrow, we'll reinstate your commissions and get you back, back pay and everything. And I was like so relieved. The whole reason I'm saying this is Richard Feld passed away this last week. And he was 82 years old. And the one thing about working for Richard, he was just a straight shooter. I wasn't, close friends with him. But when I worked there, if you asked Richard anything, he gave you a straight answer. It was a yes or a no. No fiddling around, no taking hours to, think about it. He just said yes or no. And that was that. And even at the end of Tekcom, it was around 92 when they were going out of business, Richard told Lou that, you should shut down the building, the business, or move the whole thing to a smaller place because you can't afford to be in that building anymore. And Lou didn't want to do that. And Richard eventually he said, well, I'm leaving. I'm not going to, have anything to with this business anymore because it's just dying. And Lou decided to just keep going. Well, people realized that there was no business, and people start quitting. And at the end, it was just me by myself as a salesperson and Lou Maresca. And when I realized that they were waiting for the sheriff's department to come in to shut the place down, I just made sure that any equipment that was paid for when it came into the shipping department, I took it, put it in my car, and called the customer. When they came, I just handed it to them. And when I got caught up with everybody, I resigned. And I think it was like a week after I resigned, they went out of business. I mean, they were shut down. But the whole point I'm saying this whole story is that Richard Feld passed away. Good guy. I have a picture of him put up. straight shooter, and that's the kind of people you like to do business with. These other people that'll, like Lou would take me to his office, talk to me for hours, and I would get out of this meeting. I don't even know what he was talking about. I just wasted everybody's time. And he would bring in 4 or 5 people and do the same thing. Just didn't make any sense at all. No direction, no leadership. Where Richard, I thought he was very good at what he did. That straight shooter kind of mentality made all the difference in the world. So I'm sorry to hear of Richard's passing, but I thought I should say this little story about this. I told my wife, and she said, "You got to tell the story." All right, so there you go.